What's up, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, back at you with a surprise deck profile for the Memphis Accelerate community's Build a Deck Challenge. That's right. This is a very special deck that we'll be profiling today, as it was not created by me. No, it was created by all of you. You at
My name's Jack,
helped to create this masterpiece.
That it's all right.
Love it. Love every bit of it. We have ourselves this deck created through the community post. I put this up about a month ago. I said, hey, we're going to try to let the community make a deck, and you guys delivered. So today, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be adding any more cards to this, so pretty much this is how it's set to be. And so here's the deck profile. I'm going to go over the cards in this deck. We're going to be talking about what's in it, how it works, the things it can do, all the shaboo. You know, on the stream in a couple days, I'm going to be dueling with this deck against fans and randos. So here's the cards here. For our main deck, we have one copy of Frog of the Jam. We have one copy of Destiny Hero Plasma, two copies Elemental Hero Stratos, one Dark Harness, three copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, two Summoner Monk, one Caligo Claw Crow, one Yadagarasu, three copies of D-Boys, all up in the hood. We have two copies of Emergency Call, three Regekis, one Harpy's Feather Duster, three copies of Polymerization, one copy of Miraculous Fusion, one Upstart Goblin, one Yujo Friendship, two copies of Cosmic Cyclone. We have Unity, three copies Scapegoat Coast to Coast, three copies of D-Force, one Digit Jamming, three copies of Summoning Curse, one copy of the favorite hero, my favorite hero, your copy of the Wind Skyscraper, three copies of Infinite Impermanence, two copies Evenly Matched with an option for a third, and last but not least in the main deck, we have Judgment of the Pharaoh. As for our extra deck, we have things like Relinquished Anima, IP Masquerena, we have Proxy Dragon, we have Dark the Dark Charmer Gloomy, one Mech Knight Crusader Avermax, we have Gaga Cowboy, Bagusk, we have two copies Double A Zeus, we have our Elemental Hero Gaia, Elemental Hero Sunraiser, we have Elemental Hero Flame Wingman the Infernal Rage, one Elemental Hero Skunadao, one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and Elemental Hero the Great Tornado. After the side deck, a couple of things. We have extra Yadagarasu or Digit Jamming. Apparently there's some kind of like big combo you can do with these two. I'm not sure what it is, but it exists. So extra copy of those if you feel like the need. You also have things like Book of Lunar Eclipse to flip face up, monsters face down. Very nice card. We have cards like Crackdown to steal an opponent's cards, and another Evenly Matched if you happen to be feeling frisky. So what is this deck that the people have given to us? Well, I'll tell you. It's perfectly synergetic with everything that was first donated. You know, the first person donated said, throw in Destiny Hero Plasma, and the community said, okay, we will build around that. So we've got ourselves a kind of sort of an Elemental Hero deck on a very tight budget, but that tight budget lets us show off our big old muscles. That's right, because we got our Stratos. He's, of course, doing the searching. Searches out Plasma, searches out our Shadow Mist, all the good stuff. And if I have another hero, he pops back row. So we have the power to destroy the back row. So it's very nice. All that synergy there, all that utility there, the Stratos brings to the board. Of course, we have Shadow Mist. We're not playing the change cards because that's for amateur hour. We don't need no Dark Claw. Who needs Dark Claw? That card's garbage. No, we have a Shadow Mist. This guy leaves the board. He searches our Stratos. He searches our Plasma. It's just a good time. We're always getting into Plasma. He's our boss. Trinity with 3 guards. He's not effect failure. He's a skill drain, but only for our opponents. And I can steal my opponent's stuff, make him bigger. So it's just a nice boss all around. And it's pretty easy. Now, I got the Stratos to search him. I've got the Shadow Mist to search him. I got the D-Force to search him and make Plasma even bigger. So really, Plasma Turbo is what we're aiming for with this deck. Trying to get Plasma on the board as quickly as humanly possible in order to just completely annihilate all those decks that rely on all those stinky monster effects. And searching out is not all we have to do with Plasma. Of course, we also have Shadows, this cousin here, the Dark Honest, which is just a very nice hand trap for all of these dark monsters. We have a lot of dark monsters in this deck. Most of our monsters are, in fact, of the dark attribute. And so my opponent attacks are dark, so I can just discard this, and they lose attack equal to their own attack. So their attack goes effectively down to 0 every time. And it's just a nice little hand trap to have. Our opponent never sees it coming. They expect regular honest. No, we are dishonest. That's what we are. As well, we have things like a Summoner Monk. Very nice card. We have a lot of spells in this deck. So Summoner Monk is just really good to have on board. Discard a spell. Summon out a monster. Really good to summon out Stratos, because then Stratos searches another hero. Or we can special Shadow Mist, but again, we're not playing no stinky change cards. We don't need any of that. But, you know, we got Summoner Monk. He's going to summon out our Stratos, search out our Plasma. The synergy is there. Then we go into our big boy Boguska. Just to hamper out those monster effect decks. You know, everybody's playing all these decks around monster effects. And so the Bogusk is just a good card to out that sort of thing. As well, we have many other things. We have, of course, a Frog the Jam. I don't think I need to explain why this card is in here. It's pretty obvious if you know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! Why there's a single copy of Frog the Jam in this deck. I don't think I need to go over it too much, but, you know, he's there. You know he's there. And you know he's there. You know exactly why he's there. As well, we have Calio Claw Crow. Just another monster we can put on the board as long as we have a dark monster. Like I said, most of our deck is dark. I've opened this card, Summoner Monk at any spell. I can summon out Plasma straight from my hand turn 1, so just amazing card there. We also have things like Yatagarasu. I don't need to explain the infamy of this bird. If my opponent's low on cards in the hand, which modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to do a lot of, then I can lock my opponent into not drawing, and that is really powerful against certain decks. And as well, we have, of course, the digit jamming that goes with this. Monster battles, and if monsters happen to be big attack numbers, 1,000 or more, they're losing attack. 1,000 attack and defense for every 1,000 attack and defense that they have. You know, that sort of thing. It just makes monsters really, really small, and that helps Yatagarasu beat over them. And, you know, it also bounces back to the hand during the end phase. That way he's always safe. As well, we have D-Boys, but a bunch of very nice level 1 monsters. Got some decent defense. More importantly, this gets flipped face up. Then I can summon 2 more D-Boys. It costs me some life points, but, you know, who needs more than 8,000 life points? I'm not no Rome Age player. I only need 1 life point. That's the only number of life points. So all those other life points are just free real estate. I do not need them. So D-Boys is just a nice monster to have to build up some field presence. It's a level 1, so I can make Relinquished Anima out of it. It's all good. We got our E-Call. Pretty self-explanatory thing. Searches Stratos, searches Dark Mist, etc., etc. Discard it with Summoner Monk. All's good. We have Triple Regeki. People don't always prepare for the Triple Regeki. They expect Lightning Storm, which is a hard once per turn. But Regeki is not a once per turn. Therefore, I can drop all 3 of these in 1 turn if I happen to need so. We also have Harpy's Feather Duster for a little bit of spell trap removal. We got a lot of spell trap removal in this deck. Stratos, Harpies, Cyclone. That's 3 different cards. That's a lot of spell trap removal. We got Triple Poly, because obviously we have a nice chunk of fusion monsters. We do need to have polymerization to do those fusions. So it's nice to have 3 copies of the polymerization. As well, we have Miracle Fusion, which we can search off our Sunriser. Just a nice little bit of thing. We fuse into Sunriser using our Stratos and our Shadow Mist. And then, of course, we make ourselves our Sunriser, search Miracle Fusion, make our Rage, and go to town. Now, additionally, with the spells, we also have Upstart Goblin for just a little bit of draw power. You don't need to have too much draw power when you have so much searching power. It's still nice to have just a little bit of draw power, so that's what we have the Upstart Goblin for. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship is really good if we happen to be having a life point issue, which, again, it's never really an issue, but this card's, like, amazing if we happen to go against our Row Mages and they got, like, 1 billion life points, and then we're just say, hey, shake my hand. And then we trick them into shaking my hand, pulling that finger, and then guess what? The joke's on them, our life points become the same, and they're out of luck, because then we just start smacking them, and then they're losing life points. And we all know how Row Mage are when they start losing in life points. They just go, no good. We also have our 2 Cyclones. Very nice card. Pay 1,000 life points. Again, we only need 1 of those life points, so it's free real estate. And so this card just lets me banish my opponent's spell traps. Very nice card. Gets around floating. Nothing else to say. It's just a good card. We also have Unity to bring all of our cards together. A monster on the board gains the defense of every other monster. So, you know, if we happen to have our D-Boy flipped and we summon the other 2, and we have to put them in defense mode along with a Frog to jam, and then Frog gets attacked, well, our Frog's gonna get 2 stacks of defense. So, pretty nasty spell. Also, again, a spell. I can use it for Summoner Monk. We have triple scapegoat for some nice defense, some nice level ones. Very utility card. Very, very nice card. Just gives us defense, gives us material for links, gives us material for double. Yeah, I can attribute these for special summon, because this is not a tribute summon. This is a special summon. So any copy of scapegoat equals a plasma. Well, there you go. We got triple D force, which searches the plasma. So we just have so many searches for our plasma. And while plasma's on the board, this thing has like 3 different effects. We can't draw while it's on the board, but once we have plasma, we don't need to draw. You can't target plasma, and our plasma gets bigger for every monster in both players' graveyards. Can't be destroyed by card effects. Tax twice. It just makes plasma huge. It makes him huge, large, and in charge. I've already gone over a little bit of digit jamming. Like I said, any monster attacks, everyone gets weaker until they're below 1,000 attack points. The bigger you are, the harder you fall. This is like Burden of the Mighty on like crack. It's so much better than the original Burden of the Mighty. It's crazy card. And even if my opponent tries to negate this, it's great, because if they try to destroy it, guess what? This thing triggers anyway. That's the thing, because a lot of negates destroy cards. So if they try to negate this and it destroys, it just triggers anyway. Baits out more negates. There you go. It's a pretty nasty card. Summoning Curse is a really nice card. If we're going first, we make our board already. Then we wait for our opponent to start special summoning. Basically, if we launch a special summoned, then our opponent, no, whoever special summons, basically, they have to banish a card from their hand. We only special summon in fits and bursts for the most part, and we can empty our hand pretty easy without having to just, you know, go into too much. So it's a very nice card to punish an opponent who really needs their hand, needs the things in their hand. Well, there you go. So, yeah, Summoning Curse, very nice card. It does have a maintenance cost, but we only need to play so much of it. And again, we'd only need the 1 life point. We have Favorite Hero. We search this off of our Flame Man Infernal Rage just to make him bigger and allow him to make a second attack. It's very nice. Skyscraper. Again, we're playing Elemental Heroes. We have 2 of them heroes, and this makes our monsters get 1,000 attack if they attack somebody bigger. So it's a very nice card. We have triple Imperm. If we happen to be going second, this is a very nice card just to negate things. Or if we're going first, so we need to negate things. Just utility. Utility card, going for Imperm. It just works going first, second, third, whatever, to stop our opponent from going full Ash combo. Evenly match is really good if we're going second, and my opponent makes a giant board. You know, enter battle phase, skip the battle phase, evenly match, beats out negates and things. If they can't negate it, they're losing most of their cards, and it's game over at that point. And last but not least, the main deck, we of course have the Judgment of the Pharaoh. Very nice card. If we happen to have Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship and or Unity in the grave, this is a nasty card. It's kind of like VFD in a way. It just locks our opponent out of stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! Prevents my opponent from summoning anything. Unity prevents all spell traps for a whole turn. It's a pretty nasty card to hit our opponent with. And so long as we get those spells in the grave, get some use out of them, this card can completely shut our opponent down for a whole turn. So, you know, we'll see how that works when we be dealing with this one. So as with the extra deck, we'll go over this really briefly. Anima, really don't need to explain that one too much. Steal a monster he points to, gain some attack. Basically, it's a kaiju. There you go. Masquerade is for when we go into our Avermax to make him indestructible. We have our Proxy Dragon Milk. Well, it goes around with Avermax. It's a nice generic link. It doesn't have any requirements on it, so that's all good. Dark is just because we, again, lots of darks. This searches darks, as well as we steal darks from my opponent's graveyard. And we don't have any like 3s or anything this time, but you know, if my opponent has like a this is something in defense mode. No, it doesn't. So if my opponent has a dark link in their grave, they have a Masquerade in their graveyard. Well, I can't do that in the Avermax, but the thought still counts. And of course, Avermax is a nice big beat stick. He beats over anything special summoned, spins cards back into the deck if he dies, stuff of that nature, protects everyone from battle, all the good stuff. Gaga Cowboy is here in case we get our opponent's life points down low enough, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh! Friendship, just to, you know, edge it out with that 800 damage. And if he's in attack mode, he can also gain in some attack points as well. So again, lots and lots of utility cards. Lots of cards that can just do lots of different things. Baguska, nice floodgate when you need it. Also a very good beat stick when you need it. Because in attack mode, you can't be targeted or destroyed by stuff. And you battle with either one of these, you go into a double-A Zeus, nuke the board. You know, we don't need no build a board decks. We're building a deck here. We don't need no build a board. We just need a card or two on the board, and that's all we need. This deck is very humble. very humble deck with the double A Zeus's. And to our fusions, of course, we have Gaia. When he's summoned, he takes a monster on the board, steals half its attack forever, and makes himself really big. We have Sunriser, very nice. Again, searches Mirror Fusion. And if one of my other heroes attacks, this guy pops a card. It's only once per turn, but it's still pretty damn good. I can even pop Digit Jamming if I, for whatever, happen to need to do that for some reason. We have Infernal Rage, which just needs 2 heroes with different attributes, which we do have 2 attributes on 2 different heroes. It searches our favorite card from our deck, which also activates Skyscraper. So a lot of searching with just 1 card. And also, he has another effect which works only if he has a normal as a material, but we don't do that. So really, this guy's just a big beat stick. He's a very nice beat stick, but it's his primary purpose is to beat stick. We have a Skurridao, which is any hero in a dark monster, and he gets 100 attack for every hero in the grave. So really good late game. All of our heroes happen to be in the graveyard. What's he going up by? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He can go up by 900. That's a lot of attack points, okay? So never say die when you got yourself in our Skurridao in the waiting in the wing. We also have Starting Venom Fusion Dragon, because again, lots of darks, nice fusion monster, nukes the board if he dies, etc., etc. Beat stick, does the thing. Pretty cool. And last but certainly not least is the Great Tornado. Much like Digit Jamming, he just blanket weakens monsters. When he's summoned by the fusion material way, then he halves the attack and defense of every face-up monster of my opponents. Allows me to just go right on in there, lay waste to him. So there you go, everybody. That is our deck profile for the Memphis Accelerate Community Deck Build a Deck Challenge. I hope everybody, takes something out of this deck. It's the sight of a lot of people coming together to make a deck. Nobody wanted to take anything out that somebody else has put in. Everyone accepted every single idea that was presented, and it comes out as this crazy looking, janky looking mess. But you know what? That's just your brains telling you that. But the truth is, this is an amazing deck with so many different synergistic plays. It's crazy town. So I'm looking very much forward to doing with this deck on Saturday on my usual Yu-Gi-Oh stream, where I'll be doing all sorts of folks with this deck and showing you exactly what it can do. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Smack like, not for me, but for all of you who helped make this deck possible. And your boy Memphis will see you very soon to show this deck off in all of its grandeur. Y'all have a very good evening. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon.